All right guys, today we're going to talk about why I'm trying to find an alternative to my Milwaukee Switch Tank. I really love this thing for what it was and what it did, but I'm getting annoyed with it at this point in time, and I'm seeing a trend with that on the YouTube comments. So we're going to go over why all this stuff. Stay tuned. There's a wide variety of battery operated sprayers out there, from very, very affordable but not very reliable and probably won't last you more than 2 months maximum. This takes a ton of maintenance, and if you're getting one of these to last, you're doing it right. You probably also got very lucky. My father has gone through about 9 of those in less than 2 years, which he does clean them out, and he's not a lucky guy. Now the Milwaukee Switch Tank, I absolutely love this because we have some pumpkins outside, about an acre and a half, and I can go and put my weed spray in one of them. I can put my copper and my powdery mildew, fungicides, whatever that stuff is, in another one, and I don't have to worry about killing the plants because of any residuals. But this hose that is on here is not super long. It's also pretty stiff. It's not horrible, but when you're spraying a large area, it would be nice if it was a little bit larger. But the biggest issue that I dislike about this is that the tank is so flat on the bottom. So when you're walking, especially in an area that's not level, when you're moving around, you have to have a gallon of water in the bottom of this. Otherwise, you'll start picking up air or other things, and your spray will be less consistent. So my solution to this has been going to this guy. This is the Sprayers Plus 105EX. It is still a battery operated sprayer. The downside is I'm using a battery that is directly from these guys. It doesn't work in any other of my tools, but the design of this is nice. You can see it's rounded. This is a backpack sprayer. It's 4 gallon. Comes down to the bottom, and there's this little section down here. That's where the screen and everything is that sucks everything into the pump. So I can use every dime and every drop of what's in here for spraying. The design is 10 times better than what anything else is. As far as comfort, you don't have all the padding on the back as far as here, but you still have some good padding on what you'll find on the shoulder straps, and it is still very comfortable to use. I found I like this better because as soon as I get any water or anything on my Milwaukee Switch Tank, it takes a very long time to dry, and if I'm continuing to use it, it'll just continue to get me wet, and then if it gets soaked in chemicals, I'm consistently putting those chemicals back on my back. I'm not a big fan of that. This one's easy to clean up. You do have a battery that sits inside here. Currently the battery is not in this guy, so I didn't want to turn it on, but the battery is held back here, which I think keeps it away from moisture. Slides right in here. You have your on and off at this point, but that can all be accessed through this little rubber area here. So you're going to get anywhere from 9 to 30 tanks of use out of this, depending on how much you really push the battery. At least that's what the online site says. I'm still on the first battery charge on this. I've used it multiple times. What I want to do is kind of bring you in, show you the inside of that tank because I think that's pretty cool, and then kind of walk around and talk about it a little bit more. With us a little bit closer, I can show you exactly the inside of this guy. I slid the battery in. You have a little button here you can push that'll tell you how many bars are on it. This battery is very secure in there, tight. It's basically a 20-volt battery. It's a little over half charged right now. Slides in nice. Here's that on and off switch. This pump that is in the inside will simply pump everything up to pressure and then turn off. So it's not constantly pumping, which is very nice. If we take a look at the cap here, this cap has some breathers on the top of it, and on the inside it will let air in but won't let the water out, which is very important when you're walking around. I find the switch tank will often let water out if it's really full and if I'm jostling it around. This guy does not, which I absolutely love. There is a strainer on the inside. I highly suggest you use this. These pumps can be very sensitive. Even use it while you're rinsing things out. And then if you look on the inside, all the way down, you can see this little black guy down there, right there. This is what starts to connect everything to your pump. And you can remove it. It's got a screen on the bottom, but this guy goes right down, and I'll put this back in quick, and gets right to the bottom of this tank. If we look at this side, this is where you're sucking the water from. That is awesome because all of this water is going to come down here at all times. So when you're spraying something, you're going to get a very consistent spray. You're not going to get water in it, and it's going to work out to no matter what this nozzle is set at, all the way down to you have very little, almost less than a cup left in the bottom. I absolutely love that. You have a metal bottom on this, and then you have a very professional style wand here. And all the components in here can be taken apart, cleaned. You can put silicone on everything on the inside if need be. This is plastic here, but it seems like it's a good grade of plastic. Most of these sprayers do have plastic, at least up to here. And then you have a brass adjustable wand at the end, and it also comes with a 90-degree plastic one if you're using something that's a little bit more corrosive and you'd like to change that out. So there's quite a bit that comes with it. You can see this is easy to take off and clean, which I think is very important, and it is very important depending on what you're spraying to take this apart and clean it often. So I have this guy filled up with just over a gallon of water, which is exactly where the Milwaukee Switch Tank would start to cut out on me, and I'd start to get air in the system, which was a little bit annoying. Basically, the other part that I find annoying about the Switch Tank is that when you put this wand holder on top, you have to get the wand holder tight in there. It's a friction type fitting, where this one is more of a clip-in fitting, and it will hold this basically no matter where it's at. It's secure, where the Switch Tank is not. As I mentioned before, if you take this unit and splash it around with the water in there, it doesn't let it out, which I think is huge because you're not getting that all over you. So we can flip this upside down and it's not leaking. That, to me, another big deal. If I take and put this thing on, it's comfortable, but the kicker with the wand, I can have it in my hand, I can go out. See how much hose is left over? Pretty long reach. I can go to the other hand and I can get across. Now, yes, it gets tight, but I can reach all the way over and do some spraying, which to me is what I need. I can reach back with my hand, turn the tank on, should be able to hear it going. It's going to prime itself at this point. Comes on, turns off, comes on as needed. If we look at how it sprays on the floor, we got mist, which is nice. We can adjust this up a little more straight, go another turn or so, and get out there. I mean, we can spray this a very long ways. And it's all adjustable, no matter what you want. If you'd like to get something more direct, you can continue to get out there. But if we just keep this going, and I'll adjust as we go, right down to full mist. This wand will also let you connect this up so that you're constantly spraying and you do not have to hold this down at all times. But I really find this lever is long enough and I can find a place in my hand that it fits perfectly, but it is there, easy to see, easy to put into place, pretty nice. I'm always a huge fan of collecting more tools in the same battery platform, but I'm also a larger fan of the right tool for the job and getting one that works well and it's going to last a long time. The build quality of this Sprayers Plus model is easily of that of the Milwaukee Switch Tank and probably way better designed. I think long term this tank's going to last a bit longer, and realistically, the people using it are going to be much happier with the way the tank works, with the way the tank fills, and with how heavy it is when you have it on your back, even with very little water in it. This is just great, and it's one of those situations where I would say, hey, look, man, you're paying a lot less for this guy than you are the Switch Tank. You're paying more than what you would with the Ryobi sprayer for this, but you're getting your money's worth, even though it's not in the same battery platform. The battery in this guy, it's interesting to me because these sprayers don't take a lot of battery power, and for most people, if you're using it around your garden or your home or whatever it is, it's going to last you almost all year on one charge. That's pretty amazing to me. And if you're a commercial guy using this, like I said, you're gonna fill this guy up somewhere between 9 and 30 times on one battery, and that's pretty amazing. It'll recharge in about an hour, and you're ready to go back out and spray. That's a lot of spraying, depending what you're doing. And if you're doing that much spraying in one day, you're probably gonna have a little bit larger unit than this, but one way or another, this works. And that's what's most important to me, is getting something that works and works well. So if you're looking for that in between, where you want to spend the money for something that's really good, and you want to get something that's going to last, has a warranty, a company that's in the United States, I think that's big. Here you go. If you're looking for something that's even bigger, roll your dice, but know that the Milwaukee Switch Tank has had a lot of problems with leaks this year. And if you go down the hill a little bit, the Ryobi stuff is really awesome when you first get it. It's nice, easy to move around, but it just simply doesn't last. That's the scoop on this. As always, we appreciate your time. Give us a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for your time again. Have a great day.